What is shaken, Internet? Welcome to A Dash of Salts, where you guys ask me, Salts, the questions of my life and things like this. To get this out, as always, at the very beginning of each of these videos, I'm going to tell you that if you do ask me a question and it gets picked, I will enter you to win the monthly drawing. So, if you would like to win the monthly drawing of $20, which is basically $20 of code of anything that you want, be it League of Legends, be it Steam code, be it Battle.net, Game Bucks, whatever they're called, whatever you want, as long as I can get you it for $20, it's yours. I will give one winner each month and basically take 5 questions a week. So approximately 20 to 25 people will get entered every single month. This is the final Dash of Salts for the month of November. So we'll go ahead and give away a winner at the end of this video. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take some questions, shall we? First question comes from Bugskilla. Bugskilla asks, "Where'd your name come from?" So this is kind of a fun question, and hopefully I don't ramble too much on it. But basically, I started as Sugars. My original name was Sugars, and I honestly don't know why I took the name Sugars. I think I was... Oh yes, now I remember. Now this is very vividly remembering it now. I originally started with Peppers, not Sugars. I started with Peppers because of the video game Chrono Cross, which is a PlayStation 1 video game where there's a guy named Salt and a guy named Peppers and a guy named Ketchup. And I loved those condiment names. And I started using that in the video game Shattered Galaxy. Shattered Galaxy is probably one of my favorite video games of all time. It is probably my favorite RTS video games of all time. Anyway, it's a terribly looking game nowadays, but I still think it's fantastic. I almost want to go play it now that I'm talking about it. Made back in 2001. But either way, I started playing that game, and I wanted to use Peppers, but for whatever reason it was taken, so I switched to Sugars. And then I had to make all these alts because I just enjoyed the game so much. I wanted to make more characters, and I started running out of condiments, so I eventually settled on Salts. The reason I liked Salts more than all the other ones is because Salts was incredibly short. Peppers is a little bit longer, Sugars is just a tiny bit longer, Salts is very nice, very sweet, very short. So it works great. So that's basically how I got it. I pulled it off of Peppers, which is from Chrono Cross, the video game. Great game, by the way. Not as good as Chrono Trigger, but still. Yeah. Either way, so that's the answer to that question. Let's keep moving right along here. The next question comes from Sherlo. Sherlo asks, "Do you think that after the disaster called Mop, that WoD improved the WoW situation?" So obviously WoD is doing better than Mop did at the very beginning, because Mop started with, what, 8 million subscribers, got a little bit more at the very beginning, and then kind of tanked from there because nobody enjoyed it after the first 5 minutes of playing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Mop. Some people enjoyed Mop, but it was very boring. It was very out of style. Lots of things went wrong, and I mean, obviously, subscribers have hurt. We dropped like 1 million subscribers over the course of Mop. A lot of it in the very beginning. Maybe get a little bit back during the Thunder Isle and things like that. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, WoD has already proven that it's better than Mop, because at the beginning of WoD, we got 2.5 extra million subscribers on World of Warcraft. Obviously, a whole bunch of people came back to the game, and right now, I still think it's very fantastic and very fun. I think the leveling experience is way better than it was in Mop. It's much more fun to do this kind of thing with all the rares in the game, with all the extra stuff, with your garrison. It keeps you coming back day to day. Even when you're not, purely leveling, you can always just go back to your garrison and do something there and still kind of level up slowly but surely. I know plenty of people who are leveling very slowly and still are not 100 at this point, but, they're still having a blast. They're having a lot of fun. Obviously, for people like me who like to run dungeons and things like that, there's a lot more content that's actually, doable or more fun to do. The 5-mans in Mop were really pathetic, even at the very beginning of it. To the point where, obviously, at the end of the expansion, they were soloable by many classes. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous how different the game is nowadays. I like the direction that WoD is going in a lot of ways. Obviously, in some ways, it's questionable. I did kind of speak on last week about the Legendary Quest. The Legendary Quest is still, hey, free legendaries for anybody who wants to play long enough. But we'll see. I mean, I think that there is something to it, and there is some other things that we can get around to. Either way, to boil it down, I think yes, WOD has definitely improved the situation from MOP in a very wide variety of areas. I mean, we're not sitting around doing dailies every single day. Technically, we are. If you're doing the Apex Shard dailies, you are still doing that once a day. And I mean, garrisons are even more than dailies, but they're fun, and they're not really important. Like, I mean, no matter what you do, the stuff in the garrison, unless you're super duper ridiculously hardcore, you like the stuff's not gonna matter. You just do it for fun. You get your eye level of followers up and things like that. Whereas in MOP, it was like you had to do every single daily for every single class, from every single faction, just to get basic gear, just to be able to spend your valor points. You had to do all this stuff, and I mean, they've taken a step back on that. Luckily, we'll see how it kind of hits. Obviously, the raids start hitting this week. High Mall comes out a little bit later this week. I think tomorrow actually. And that's going to be fun. We'll have to see how it goes. But for now, I think the basic leveling experience and the new features that they brought have definitely done much better than MOP in every aspect so far. So far, that's the caveat. Obviously, we're only about 3 weeks into the expansion, so we have plenty of time to go downhill. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on to the next question from Brantor. Brantor asks, what do you think about the leveling experience in WOD so far? Wow, I didn't realize that was kind of a segue from the last question. So I've already said that the leveling experience in WOD is fantastic. I've actually leveled multiple characters, not to level 100 yet. I've only have one level 100, but I have multiple characters leveling, just for funsies, just to keep going. And it's kind of fun because you have to get those alts up, and as soon as you unlock the garrison, it's like, oh man, I gotta keep going back to the garrison. I almost think there's too much to do at the garrison because I have so many alts that now have garrisons that I'm like logging into one, gotta do my missions, gotta do my daily crafting thing, gotta get all my work orders, gotta mine my mine. If I'm high enough level, I gotta mine my herbs. I know, mining herbs, funny. But I mean, you have so much to do in the garrison every single day that it feels like, oh, geez, I don't get to go out and actually do the leveling experience. And I think that's actually a good thing because then when you actually do go to do the leveling experience, it's like, man, this is so fun. And if it ever gets boring, even for a second, you go back to the garrison. You go back and you do other things. Like, there's plenty of other things to do other than level. You don't have to just grind out levels, grind out quests all the time. If you want, go hunt rares, go hunt treasures. These things give you experience, so it's just as good as doing quests. And they give you garrison resources. I mean, there's so many extra things to do than just sit there and quest. Obviously, questing gives you a lot of fun stuff, and I mean, you're going to get good rewards out of it, and get the leveling experience. It's going to unlock new things for you, but in general, there's just lots more to do, even before you get to level 100. And that's something I really, really enjoy, for even all my alts and everything else. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next question. The next question is from IceOwns12. IceOwns12 asks, what is your favorite lore of all the games you play which involve lore? Honestly, I don't play that many games that involve lore that I can think of. I mean, the Morrowind series, or no, I say Morrowind. Yeah, that kind of dates me, doesn't it? I played Oblivion, I played Skyrim, but, Morrowind, that's some good stuff. The Elder Scrolls series. The Elder Scrolls series has crazy good lore. I never got into it. I could never get into the lore of the Elder Scrolls games. I kind of enjoy a little bit of it, but there's just too much stuff there. There's just too much to get into. I'm trying to think of some other things. Obviously, League of Legends. League of Legends is kind of one of those things that I didn't ever expect to get into the lore. I thought it was just kind of a dumb thing added on there. But then I started, reading the news posts and other things, and League of Legends just it really grabbed my attention as far as lore goes. I really enjoyed checking into that. The Blizzard games are all really good. Diablo has pretty good lore, and StarCraft has exceptionally good lore. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, out of all the games that I play, I think World of Warcraft probably is the top because there's just so much background to it. It includes the Warcraft lore, the Warcraft 2, the Warcraft 3, all the Warcraft universe. It's got the most books from all the Blizzard franchises, I'm pretty sure. And I haven't read any of the books, so I will give you that. I've never read any of the Warcraft books. I might want to one day, but yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of games out there that have a whole bunch of lore that I really get into. I mean, obviously there's things that are based on other things like Game of Thrones. There's Game of Thrones games out there, and I love the Game of Thrones books. I mean, that's lore that I can really get, love, but it's not a game that I play that's based off of lore. It's just a game that's kind of there. There's no good Game of Thrones out there. The Shadow of Mordor game is based off of Lord of the Rings, but I don't know if that's really a lore thing. Either way, yeah. So I mean, I say World of Warcraft kind of gets it for me. Just Warcraft in general is really good lore, and I just enjoy it a lot. So we'll just keep on moving on. Last question of the day comes from Batsmaru82. Batsmaru82 asks, do you have a preference on which class keeps you alive in dungeons? So basically, which healer do I prefer? Now this is a tough one. I will say one thing. I don't like druids. I don't like druid healing. I just don't like them. I don't trust them. I don't trust those druid healers. Now I know I'm a druid, but I'm a druid bear, and you can trust us bears. We have cute fuzzy faces and all kinds of stuff, but those druid trees, they got the crazy eyes. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I do like priest. I think priests do some really good healing in general. Shaman are okay. I think I've had some really good shaman, but some really poor shaman as well. And I mean, they're really not, set up to be. I don't know. I don't like healers. I don't like shaman healers. I don't like druid healers. I mean, I'm okay with any healer as long as they keep me alive, which isn't terribly hard to do because I'm an amazing bear tank. But I can't even think of the other healing classes. What are the other healing classes? Paladin. I never even see Paladin healers. We have a good one in my guild. I really like, Bernhardt's. He's pretty good. Trying to think of some other healers, like the Paladin, the 2 priest specs, the Shaman, the Druid. There's one more. I'm sorry that I'm forgetting whoever you are. What is that other? There's got to be another spec. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it. Well, whatever you are, you're probably my favorite. Yeah, you're probably definitely my favorite. Whatever you are. What the heck is that class? It's like I'm totally drawing a blank here. Are they a mail class? Are they a leather class? Are they a plate class? No. Who knows? I can't remember the last one, so we'll just move on and pretend that it never happened. Maybe I'll just cut this out of the video. No, I won't. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the questions for the day. And that's also the end of the questions for the month because it is now December. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Those are the end of the questions for the month. Please, I want you to give more questions for next week so that we can start off December strong. Please get your questions down below. To submit a question for the December week 1, I want you to leave a comment below with your question, or you can send an email to a.dash.of.salts@gmail.com. If you send that question in via email, I will check that and hopefully put that into the show. That pretty much covers everything I wanted to do on questions. So let's go ahead and do the meat of the giveaway here. Let's go ahead and give out the winner of the giveaway. So we have 15 entrants for this week for the giveaway, and the winner has been selected as, drumroll please, it is Super Crooked Smile. Super Crooked Smile is the winner this month. You have 7 days as of December 1st. So December 8th, you have until December 8th to reclaim your prize and tell me what you want. I will send you a comment, like a YouTube message thing. I'm going to send you a YouTube message thing on how you can claim your prize, how you can select what you want, and how I can give it to you. If you don't respond by December 8th, you will be forfeited, and I will choose another winner and contact them through YouTube PM message, all that good stuff. So, Super Crooked Smile, congratulations. Everyone else, you are completely eligible to enter the next one. All you have to do is send me a question. Send me a question in the comments below or to a.dash.of.salts@gmail.com. That's a-of-salts with periods in between at gmail.com. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little questionnaire, and I hope to see you guys next week. Please like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and As always, you keep it salty, Internet.